Hey, how's it going? My name is Raf, and welcome to Dragon Ball Code, the place where all we do is talk about Dragon Ball. And today, we are diving deep into one of the biggest mysteries in the divine hierarchy, how the gods of destruction are chosen. Each universe in Dragon Ball Super has its own set of deities: the Supreme Kai, who creates and gives life, and the God of Destruction, whose job is to destroy and balance things out. It's the ultimate system of creation and destruction that keeps each universe stable. But have you ever wondered how someone even becomes a god of destruction? It's not like there's a school for it, and the show never really explains the process clearly. Luckily, with what's been revealed, we can piece together how this divine selection might actually work. Before we get into how they're chosen, let's talk about what the job really is. A god of destruction, or Hakaishin, is given the power of Hakai, the ability to completely erase anything, whether it's a planet, a being, or even a soul. Their main goal is balance. While the Supreme Kais create life and worlds, the God of Destruction wipes out anything that threatens that balance. Civilizations that grow too arrogant, planets that are no longer developing, or forces that could destabilize their universe. But they're not free to do whatever they want. Gods of Destruction are tied to their Supreme Kais by life energy. If their Kai dies, the God of Destruction dies too. So as powerful as they are, they're still bound by divine laws. They represent destruction, but not evil. Beerus destroys planets, but he's not out there trying to rule or conquer, it's just his job to maintain cosmic order. Now, when it comes to choosing a god of destruction, it doesn't seem to be random. There are candidates, beings who are either trained or evaluated to take over the role when the current destroyer retires, dies, or gets erased. We actually have examples of this in Dragon Ball Super. In Universe 11, we see Toppo as a god of destruction candidate. He's trained directly by Belmod, the current destroyer, and Margarita, the universe's angel. And when Toppo fights in the Tournament of Power, he even transforms into what's called the destroyer form, surrounding himself with the same purple Hawkeye energy the real gods use. That tells us two things. First, mortals can become candidates, they don't have to be born gods. And second, the training is overseen by the angels, who act as mentors and judges. Whis even tells Goku and Vegeta that they could become gods of destruction one day if they trained hard enough and mastered that power. So the angels are basically the ones scouting and preparing possible successors, while the current god helps test their readiness. So let's say the god of destruction of a universe retires, gets erased, or just doesn't want the job anymore. What happens then? This is where the lore gets a little murky. There's no official scene that shows a formal appointment ceremony, but based on what we know from Kanzenshu and the Dragon Ball Wiki, there's a clear hierarchy. At the top, we have Zeno, the Omni King, who can erase anything, even universes, with a thought. He's the highest authority, and beneath him is the Grand Priest, who oversees all the angels and gods. So logically, if a universe needs a new god of destruction, they would be the ones approving it. The angels train the candidate, the current god might recommend them, but the final word probably comes from the Grand Priest or Zeno himself. We see this hinted in Universe 11 again. Belmod talks about stepping down one day, and Toppo is the chosen successor. That means retirements can happen peacefully, not just through death. It's like passing on the mantle. And since Toppo was already recognized as a candidate, that process was clearly being prepared long before the position opened up. Once someone's chosen, they have to fully master Hakai energy. This isn't just power, it's a mindset. When Toppo transforms into his destroyer form, you can see how different his aura becomes. Dark purple flames, symbols glowing across his body, and his attitude completely shifting. He abandons all attachment to justice and accepts pure destruction. That's the mental transformation that separates a candidate from a true god of destruction. And once the candidate proves they can control this power and use it for the sake of universal balance, they're officially acknowledged as the new destroyer. After that, they get their own angel, their own realm, and become part of the divine hierarchy alongside the Supreme Kai. Even with all that, there's still a lot we don't know. Dragon Ball never shows a destroyer being fired or officially crowned. We also don't know how long they serve. Do they live forever? Do they have terms? Or are they replaced only when they want to step down? We also don't know exactly how many candidates there can be per universe, or what the actual qualifications are. Is it purely about strength, or does personality play a role? After all, Goku's raw power might be enough, but his carefree nature doesn't exactly scream divine balance. Meanwhile, Vegeta might have the right mindset. but his pride could get in the way. And then there's the biggest unknown: what happens if the Supreme Kai in a universe dies? The link means the God of Destruction would die too, but who replaces them in that scenario? Would Zeno appoint someone new, or would the entire universe collapse until the Kai is revived? So, while the process isn't officially laid out in detail, we can piece together a pretty good idea. Candidates are usually powerful beings, chosen and trained by angels. When the position opens up, the Grand Priest, or Zeno, likely gives the final approval. The new God of Destruction must master Hakai energy, balance their destructive instincts, and take their place among the divine. It's not just about strength, it's about control, responsibility, and understanding the balance between creation and destruction. So next time you see Beerus casually destroying a planet, remember, that wasn't chaos, that was order. He's not doing it for fun, well, maybe a little, but mostly it's because that's what keeps the universe alive. There you have it. And if you enjoyed this and you like Dragon Ball content, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon so you can get notifications whenever I post a new video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.